God, they put like a whole. I swear they put like a whole a can of barbecue sauce in this thing, man. It was so spicy. Woo. Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, and hopefully everybody had a great Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. What's up, Scott?
What's up, Michael?
Getting ready to do a listener question show at the last minute. It's going to be fresh.
I know. I was like, because you got to get this like edited and posted,
within the hour almost. Yeah, it'll be fine. Nothing like stress. That'll be fine.
I'm like, no one has gone live on Twitch for me, and until now, there you go. Yeah. Everyone's like taking breaks.
And I was going to tell you, now when people comment on Twitter, it shows up in the. We can put it on the screen. They
sweet.
It today.
Sweet.
Oh shoot! Bro, what happened to that? Oh, here it is. Post. We need some good questions for tonight's show. So if you don't mind, put a question in there. Mr. Beaver out there on the West Coast.
Do you remember that account that used to be like, it was just like the Epcot at New Year's Eve account?
Oh yeah, I wonder if they'll pop back. They probably
I don't know, but that thing always cracked me up.
Yes, I forgot about that. You need to say something about that in the intro.
I think it's just called like Epcot or NYE at Epcot or something.
Yep. And there was 2-1 for like the Christmas tree at Wilderness Lodge or something too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Pistons just tipped off, man. Can they make it 27 straight losses?
That's crazy. You guys had a bowl game in Detroit today. I was watching that.
Yeah, it's always the day after Christmas. Yeah, yep. I've gone to that a couple times.
Oh my god, I'm watching whatever games on a First Responder Bowl. The snap for the extra point was a terrible.
There it is. It's Epcot NYE.
I got to make sure I follow that because that was a fun follow.
They have not posted since 10/17 of 2000. No, 12/31/21 was the last time.
They didn't do it for the last 2 years. Boo.
No.
Boo. Let me find a good question to start with. Ooh, a transportation question. That's a good one for you and us. We have 17 people in here. Show yourself. Show yourself. No questions come to mind for me either, William, but here I sit. Here I sit in front of a microphone. When is your bowl game, William? I know you guys Oregon State plays. Guys, just listen to a preview of it this morning when I was walking on college football, the radio station. They don't play Notre Dame, do they? The Beavs? I can't remember. Yeah, Notre Dame. That's right. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Yes. I guess the winner gets drowned by cornflakes. Hey, Chad. See you Dopey here soon, or Marathon Weekend, or whatever we're going to call it this year. You're Friday. We're Friday, too. I'm super nervous. We're going to a party. We got invited to a party. Found out this evening at dinner about the party. It's all the cheer parents. And I had to tell my wife that, because I didn't know this, that everybody at the party needs to understand that I'm there. It's not a social event. I'm there to watch the game. We're not screwing around. We're watching football because it's a whole bunch of cheerleaders and their parents.
I don't watch sporting events with other people. It's just a rule for me.
That was what I was trying to say without saying it out loud.
It's just because, and it's not because I get intense. I don't get intense at all. It's just people make comments that really bother me when I watch a sporting event that either like just don't understand it fully, or like they're very biased, and I'm not a biased person. So like if I see my team like do something bad, I'm not going to say like, oh, that's a bad call. I'm gonna be like, yeah, absolutely, that was the right call. And then like people get mad at me about it. I'm like, that's just dumb. Like we messed up, like we were offsides or whatever the case may be. Like I just always be around those people that think that your team does 100% correct, and that's not true, and it drives me nuts. So I always have to watch games by myself.
I'm just intense, and it should be like a Patreon experience to watch a Mizzou game with me because stuff flies out of my mouth you would not believe. Like, and I can't believe it does. I don't know. Like, I'm taking over a bad demon. Like for those 3 hours or 4 hours, it's unbelievable.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I can't take it. But these parents have never seen this side of me. But if you want to bring me to that party, I mean, you put it at your own risk.
Maybe you shouldn't go. Like you should just
thinking, but I'm just saying. I mean, we are playing Ohio State, and I can't stand. I want this game, man, so bad. So, I mean, you think it's like playing Kansas or something, man. It could be. It's brewing already, like the hatred. Like, and I mean, I really don't hate Ohio State. It's just like this is our chance. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm with William, man. Like the other teams are just better. And it happens. It's just like, but people don't understand this sometimes. That's why I can't watch games with people. But
yeah, I am a better like myself. I'm a better like I like watching it with like with Pam, like because she gets me right, like us, like watching it together in our house. Like if I have to throw a pillow or if I off the couch or something, it's they have to go take a walk around the kitchen, do a couple laps. Like I can't just do that at their house. I don't know where I'm going. Like maybe the bathroom.
You get lost. You're just like in the bathroom watching on your phone or something.
Exactly. Like where's your garage? I don't know how it's gonna go. So and if we get down big, it'll be I'll be ticked. Like it just because I want to get that 11th win so bad. So anyway, that's how that's wins. Friday will be interesting. So, but we'll go. We'll be a good dad. I got my good. Yeah, see, I got my sweatshirt for Christmas. It does double duty. It's Mizzou and Howell because it could go either way. Okay, so and it is spring training. We'll see. Cardinals were terrible last year. All right, let's see. So we got 2412 listener questions. We do need questions, by the way. So if you have questions and you're joining us tonight, please put those in the comments. We get some fresh ones because the show's coming out in an hour.
Fresh baked.
It is a fresh show. Fresh off the presses. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 2412 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope everybody out there had a wonderful Christmas with your friends and family and all having a great holiday season. Whatever holiday you celebrate, hopefully you're just having a great one and hopefully enjoying some downtime from work. Even if you still have to work, a lot of us are still working, but maybe it's slowed down a little bit, or even if you're still at your desk or, doing your job out there, blue collar job, at least hopefully there's some Christmas cookies in the bucket there, your lunch bucket. I mean, there's got to be, little perks to this time of the year, right? So let's hope for that. If not, go to McDonald's. Hopefully they still have some of those little holiday pies. Those things are the bomb. So we're just glad you're here. We're going to have a good time answering some more of your listener questions to get you through what I called on Mike in the Midwest this week, the weirdest week of the year. It's that week where you don't know really what day it is, but in a way, it's pretty awesome. So joining me today, it's my buddy and Pam, Ricky. I don't even know where they are. I think Ricky's in Florida. Pam, MIA. I don't know, but you can always depend on Scott Gardner. Scott, what's going on, buddy? Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mike. I hope it was a great one for you. And I love your comment there. You can always count on me. So some behind the scenes, I always joke about how you're the Kyle Ripken of podcasting. And man, are you cutting it close, because this is as fresh as it gets to being like a real podcast coming out of your player, because it's going to be in the feed here in a couple hours. So cutting it close here, Mike. It's always fun to watch you stress out a little bit about this, but I think we're going to make it today. I think we're going to hit the deadline.
Well, a little behind the scenes too. Usually we do 2 shows at a time and, record both shows and record them out of order, edit them out of order and stuff. And knock on wood, usually I get them to hit the feed and, the Friday show goes to the Friday and Wednesday actually ends up on a Wednesday, which a lot of times I panic at like 3 a.m. when I wake up, like, oh my God, did I put the Friday on the Wednesday feed and all that kind of stuff? Only one show to edit tonight. So I think we'll make it as long as we, hopefully the clear skies outside, no pending blizzards or anything. So I think we're going to be good. But real quick, so good Christmas up in Lansing, up in Michigan. I hope everybody had a good time. Are doing well?
Yeah, it was great. The weather was awesome. It was like 55 degrees, and the sun came out for a little bit. I saw a guy driving a motorcycle yesterday, like on December 25th, which is just unheard of. So yeah, it was good. Santa came. We had fun. my in-laws came to my house, which is fantastic because normally I travel all over the town. So it's nice to be like back home like around noon, 12:30, and knowing that I didn't have to leave the house the rest of the day, which is unheard of for me on Christmas. So that was really nice and relaxing for me.
Did you miss the days of setting up the Barbie dream house at 2 in the morning? And maybe
I don't miss those days at all. Now it's just like it's clothes, right? It's just clothes and shoes and a gift card every now and then. Yeah, I'll tell you this though, we made a sangria mix, which I've never done before. And I tell you, it was really good. It was really tasty. And I put these raspberries on the bottom before we poured it in, and the raspberries got like really frozen in there, and like those were like really tasty raspberries that go with the sangria. So that might have to be like a new. I love when new traditions come about, like around the holidays. So me, my mother-in-law, and Elizabeth each had a glass of sangria, maybe 2 glasses actually, and that might be a new tradition now.
Sounds like a new Christmas song or something. Don't leave milk and cookies for Santa. Let's leave raspberry sangria and a couple grapes.
There we go. There we go.
But
yours was good too.
Yeah, it was. It's always great. Paige was home for a couple of days. She had to go back already. I was talking with my wife just a couple hours ago as we were going to dinner, and it's one of those things like you anticipate the season so much, right? You look forward to it all through December. And she came home on December 22nd. They had a basketball tournament down in West Palm Beach. As soon as the tournament was over, the basketball team had a quick Christmas break. But then as we're recording, it's December 26th. They have practice tonight back in Chicago. They have to lift weights and they have practice. And so they got this, 4-day break for Christmas. And it's, you think 4 days, you got all this time. And it was a flyby, right? I mean, she came home. We went to the in-laws, did Christmas Eve. We did Christmas Eve service at church, and we had Christmas morning at our house and hung out a little bit, played some board games, and back on the road.
It's honestly like a Disney vacation.
It is
to here to the podcast. Like you plan like Christmas. I feel like you plan. Like you get the house decorated. You start listening to the Christmas music or the holiday music really early and all that. Same with the Disney trip, you're making your reservations, your park reservations. You got all these like this strategy. You've been building it up for all this time, and then it comes, and then boom, it's over. Like the holiday music isn't on the radio this morning. Like people are taking lights down already. It's like, dang, like it just went by so fast. And it kind of feels like a vacation almost to me with that.
The only good news is there's plenty of Christmas cookies left over. That's good and bad. But as I was thinking, Disney is super smart to have marathon weekend, that first or second weekend of January, because I'm eating these things like they're going out of style. And my wife and Paige and Pam or Mallory made too many of them on one of the days they were home, where they spent half the day making Christmas cookies. God, they're so good. And like I can't pass through the kitchen without grabbing one. And so I'm so glad that I'm going to be running here, all those miles, because I feel like that will help. I don't know. I'm just telling myself that. But anyway, let's get to the list of questions. We're here. Shout out to Vero Mike, who grew up down in West Palm Beach, and shout out to our good friend Marlessa, who's tuned in live on the Disney Skyliner as we speak.
Gotta love that.
Yes,
Man.
I love it. Let's see. Emily has a question about transportation, one of Scott's favorite topics at Walt Disney World. Hey, Mike and BOGP gang. Thanks to your tips on how to prioritize my ADRs, I was able to score a Topolino's breakfast and Cinderella's Royal Table breakfast during our stay. Think that deserves one of these babies. Nice.
I was expecting like the dinger, so like that really threw me off.
I know, so, dude. We're turning into a morning show. It's again, I've had too many Christmas cookies, man. It's a sugar thing. I can't even control myself at this point. Okay, back to Emily. We are staying at Port Orleans Riverside, and I'm wondering the best way to get to Topolino's for breakfast and to Animal Kingdom Lodge for a Boma breakfast with 2 kids who need booster seats. I'm thinking minivans, but would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you in advance. Emily's in a little kingdom called Michigan.
Ooh, I like that kingdom.
That's what I'm saying. Royalty up there. So, Scotty, what would you suggest? Booster seats for 2 little either princess or princess, or princess.
So it's really challenging to get to these when you have the resort, breakfast planned when you don't have a rental car. But that's okay because there's great options, right? The minivan is definitely one that I recommend. because they'll have those like car seats and booster seats for you on hand. You're going to have a cast member that's driving, so it's like a trusty source, and it's just fun, right? It's fun, Mike, when that vehicle pops up and it's all decked out as Minnie Mouse, and you're going someplace magical with them. So I think the minivan is the best way to go because you can get to direct transportation. Like you can get from Riverside, boom, over to Topolino's or to Animal Kingdom Lodge. The other way to do that is, and it's really tough, challenging with breakfast, is like you could take a bus to a theme park and then hop on a resort bus from there. But that's really tough to do in the morning because like buses really aren't going to be traveling to resorts from theme parks that early in the morning. So I think the minivan is the way to go. What do you think, Mike?
I'm 100% with you. I mean, it takes so much uncertainty out of the equation. If you go with a minivan, you're going to know when to be there. You're going to get in, your booster seats are secure. You have a competent driver that knows where they're going. Uber and Lyft would be a less expensive way to do this. And you can request booster seats with Lyft and Uber. So that would be a way to do that. But there's just, like Scott says, it's just an extra level of service. And it's a difference between like staying in, Port Orleans Riverside Resort or staying at the Best Western on 192, right? That'd be like the Lyft or Uber compared to the minivans. So if you want to stay kind of in the bubble experience, go to the minivans. This is where you're already there, and the kids will get a huge kick out of it. You can play park music on the radio while you're on your way over. Yeah, I mean, totally. Because I don't even know, like, especially if you're just a single woman with kids. I mean, I would absolutely do that. But that's
I make the comment though. I love the spread. Like, I love the lineup here that you have for these breakfast ADRs. Like, those are gonna be some really
Scott
happy kids.
There. Scott might rent a car and just drive you.
I'll be your driver. Yeah, or we'll drive down together from Michigan. Let's just do that. Yeah, sounds like a great time.
All right, Justin is tuned in live on Facebook. Justin, thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it. This is going on the Wish next year. Take the DCL bus from a Walt Disney World hotel. Do you automatically get a port? Do you get a port time? I guess that says. Okay, so the way that works is if you get Disney Cruise Line transfers. So if you book the transfers, which in 2024 they've gone from $39 a person to $45, just a little bump. They were $39 for like ever. So, but what'll happen is you will get an email from Disney Cruise Line 24 to 48 hours. I guess it seems like it should be the other way. You'll get an email to your email address telling you starting 48 hours prior to the cruise, telling you when and where to meet the Disney Cruise Line representative, to where to take your luggage, where to meet we've all seen them, right? When we're going to get on a bus at the resorts, like you're going to, we're going to the Magic Kingdom that day, but you see the person there in the blazer and they got the clipboard and you're like, oh God, I want to go to the Magic Kingdom, but now I just want to go on a cruise. It's like all those things. Tells you where to meet them, gives you all the details. What'll happen is with that email, that'll tell you, you don't have to worry about port arrival times basically, because the motor coach is going to take you there and you're going to be able to walk onto the ship at that point. You're not going to be the first on the ship, but you're not going to be the last on the ship. You're going to be right down the middle. So think of it like bowling.
Yeah. Mike, wouldn't you still suggest to go for a port arrival time? Just depending, like I think it's still check in and do all that and get.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, you're not going to be there like at 11. You're probably going to get there. Obviously the motor coaches are staggered because there's a bunch of them coming from a bunch of different resorts, but you're probably going to get there between like 12 and 2 ish. But the good news about that is they've called most of the groups by then. You're just walking right onto the ship and no problem. So they'll tell you though. Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to get one. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Have a great time on the Wish. Oof, man, I love cruising.
Absolutely. Vera Mike has a question. Will you guys be trying Eat in Disney Springs? Hope to meet you guys at Marathon Weekend. Hope to see you, Mike. What do you think about Eat? What I think about it, because I don't know much about
I don't even know what it is.
It's the new restaurant in Disney Springs, and they serve, I think they serve food similar to Sanaa. So whatever Sanaa is, I know they have a bread service that looks almost exactly like the bread service at Sanaa. So I think you'd like it.
I definitely will. So there's, man, why am I so like off on the news these days? So I know like that Summer House restaurant is open in Disney Springs, and now we have Eat as well. So 2 new offerings.
Were you not on the show the night that I said we need to open a place next door? Because Eat is spelled EET, because I think it's Indian, from India. But we should make another restaurant next door that's called Drink, but spell it wrong, like DRNK or something like that. Make it Eat and then Be Happy or something. You know,
I
Eat,
like
Drink,
it.
Be Happy, 3 restaurants in a row. But
I like it. But yeah, I love the concept of this. I love variety. I love options, and especially at Disney Springs, man, it gets so crowded there lately. I feel like it's the place to be, right? There's great shopping, great dining, great drinking, great everything, and I'm excited to try an Indian food restaurant. Like, sign me up. I will. I don't think I'm. If it's open already, I'm definitely not trying it for Marathon Weekend because I already got some plans made for ADRs. But maybe for my spring break trip, I will be checking it out.
okay, here's the deal. Because I love. I think I would love any of you because I love Sanaa. But again, my wife and daughters don't try anything that has any kind of. They don't like ethnic foods. They're so. And again, by the way, we listened to the Christmas Eve and the BOGP studio show on the way home from my in-laws on Christmas, and I have not heard the end of my an ordinary guy from the Midwest card. Like, it has been brought up 1,000 times in this house. Even tonight at dinner, when I was getting ready to pay like an hour ago, my wife said, "You gonna pull out your Mike in the Midwest card or your ordinary guy in the Midwest card and try to use it?" I'm like, I don't think I got the official card. I saw the paper one right now. Process.
I hope they got a kick. It sounds like they got a kick out of it, which is what I was hoping.
Yeah,
for.
they loved your gifts. Yeah, it's so funny. Anyway, though, yeah, I wouldn't try Indian food over Marathon Weekend. Just a little tip. I don't know, unless you.
I'm just saying, we did go to Sanaa on Saturday once before the full. We have done it.
You should have to wear like a penny over your shirt though, if you do, because like the quarterbacks in football, like the "Don't Hit Me" jersey. Like, if you had Indian food the day before, you should be a marked man. I'm just saying, like, I'm just too much information, but there we go.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I'm
Me too. I would love it. I would love it. I shouldn't have said that. My daughter's turning 6 on Saturday, January 6th, while we're down at Walt Disney World. I'm running the Dopey Challenge. She's been to Disney World many times, and there isn't much she hasn't done yet. I want to do something special for
6 years old. Remember that. At 6 years old, there's not much she hasn't done yet.
Story of our kids too. Spoiled. I want to do something special for her birthday that would be memorable and unique. We have breakfast reservations at Hollywood and Vine, her request, and we'll spend much of the day at Hollywood Studios. We can park hop, but we don't have anything planned. We're staying off property at a time. Oh, it got cut off. At a timeshare. Did it go?
I don't know the rest.
Well, we're staying off property at a timeshare. I'm guessing they're wanting to do something unique for the birthday. You can fill us in there. Continue, Chad. So what would you suggest, though?
So I don't know if this is just me. Like, I'm going to ask you a question, Mike. Like, so she's turning 6 on January 6th. So we call that a golden birthday, like around here. I don't know if that's a term you're familiar with at all. Like, when you turn the age on your day of your birthday. So 6 on the 6th would be the golden birthday. I would love to do something.
Never heard that. That's a great idea. I've never heard that in my life.
I would love for them to do something to like honor the golden birthday. Like, maybe have like a cake. Like, it sounds like they're off site, so it won't work for like in the room. And like, I know we're cutting it closer too, so I don't know if you can make this happen, but maybe at that Hollywood and Vine, sometimes you can have a cake delivered to the table, like during a meal. And that'd be cool if it had like golden frosting or something, and it just said like "Happy Golden Birthday" on it. That's just kind of like where my mind went. 6 for your 6, man. You got to celebrate that. That's awesome.
That's a good one. That's a really, because I never heard of the golden birthday thing. So you'd only do that. I'm trying to think. You'd only do that once in your life,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm screwed because I'm 50. Like, it ain't ever gonna happen.
Well, you already had yours long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a thing. I'm like feeling sad now because I didn't even know there was a thing.
Like, for Elizabeth's golden birthday, not to go off topic here, but when she turned 28 on the 28th. It was actually Thanksgiving that year too. It was like she had it all going on, but I had like this golden frosted cake with like turkeys on it because it was Thanksgiving too. Like, it was fun. It was a big hit, but
that's good. So I'm trying to think if there's anything, the whole thing is it's 6. And for a kid that's been there many times, I think the biggest thing for a kid that age, especially like a daughter that kind of feels very comfortable with the parks. And that sounds kind of crazy, but both of our daughters were kind of in that same case, is that when you do give them kind of control of the day, because a normal 6-year-old at Walt Disney World, the parents are going to be driving the day 100%. Like, they're going to be telling them, okay, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. But when you give them like the leadership role and you really play it up for them, like, okay, you're now 6. We're not 5 anymore. You're 6. What are we doing? And it is going to be a little challenging. Marathon weekend's a little bit busy, but really, and maybe make it multiple choice. Would you rather do Mickey and Minnie's, Toy Story Mania, or do you want to go see Tower of Terror next? Just kind of if you want to make kind of guide it because like what the wait times are looking like or something like that. Or, if you need to go eat, put a got to go get grilled cheese or something at ABC Commissary. But I think that's one of those things that would be memorable for her that, I got to be in charge of the entire family for the entire day. I think that's an experience, but the cake too. The cake, I think you need to have though. That's a good idea. And we have,
whether it's pre-ordered or not, I feel like, or even as a cupcake, obviously we got to have some kind of cake on the golden birthday. So, but I like your idea there too, Mike. Just kind of control the day, right? Like, you've all been there enough. I see Chad in here all the time. I know they go down there and visit often. So yeah, I like that idea of like, it's my birthday. We're going to do what I want to do today. Like that sounds awesome.
Jennifer says the golden birthday only started in recent years. She said missed having hers too in 76. I know.
Oh,
totally. Wow. I got gypped, right? 73 wasn't a thing.
The people that really get gypped is like if you were born on the first of the month, right? Like you're not going to remember.
Yeah, well, totally. Yeah, because your golden birthday too bad, sucker. You don't remember.
Mallory's would have been when she was 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's done too. Yeah. Check. Yeah, exactly. Well, everybody's gonna be on this though. This is gonna be a thing. And Chad says my wife makes it a yes day for her, whatever she wants within reason. I like that. Oh, Ian here from Pittsburgh. We'll see her down at Marathon Weekend. Did you see Ian? By the way, I don't know if you watched. I've been trying to watch everybody's training runs on the BOGP Lizards group. And the training runs have been just unbelievable leading up to Dopey. Ian did this 26.2 mile training run. Okay. I won't have nothing to do with a training run. This 26. If I'm going to do 26 miles, I'm going to get some ears and a medal. That's the way I look at it. I'm not playing around with a fake one. She did under 10-minute pace, and she had like a
get out of here,
like a hydration vest on too. Ian needs to join the Marines. That's all I got to say. And she's an Auburn.
She could run that marathon twice and then still be doing
it. Dude, I saw that. I'm like, what are you doing? Like you're burning through Pennsylvania at breakneck speed for 26.2 miles without even getting a medal. Hold up. Like, anyway, Ian killed it. So real quick, best places and poses for Dopey Challenge medals. So obviously we always get ours together in front of Spaceship Earth because it's the closest thing and we're still actually be able to stand. That's all bets are off after that. Of course, the park icons, that's where we go. So what else besides park icons have we done?
So specifically for Dopey, which I am not doing this year, so I won't be doing this photo, but I'd like to go to the exit queue of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Dopey's the Dwarf's Cottage is back there, like as you exit. I think that's kind of fun to do your Dopey medal there. You can kind of have the right backdrop for that, Another thing I really like to do, if you can swing it, it'll be really hard to get that reservation right now, but like a Artist Point, where Dopey is part of the character meal, like that is a great one because then they can get your medal photo with the man himself, Dopey.
Yeah. And one of my favorite medal pictures, and this was a year like I was running and then you signed up for a race like a little bit later because you weren't going to be there and the thing came down last minute. It was outside Sid Cahuenga's at the studios. Well, I don't even remember what race weekend that was, but it was kind of that sign that has all the, I don't even know if that sign's still there. It's because
it was with Donald.
It was with Donald.
Yeah.
That'd have been for the half marathon.
Yeah.
But that was a good spot. And honestly, Galaxy's Edge, good spot, even though don't have anything to do with it.
I don't know if he's in the chat right now because like we would have seen him saying here. So, but George had like one of the greatest medal photo sessions I've ever seen, and he went to Tom Sawyer's Island with his medals, and that was like 5-6 years ago, and then like still like sits in my head, man. Like that is one of the coolest medal photo sessions I've ever seen. He was just all over Tom Sawyer Island with the medals. It was super cool. So that's kind of like a different place to go to.
Okay, we both did this picture though, because it just came up. So on my wallpaper, like on my lock screen on my phone, I have it set up to where it changes every hour, right? That option, and it just goes through, I think, my like featured photos on Apple or whatever. And it came up with this picture that I forgot we had. It's probably from like 6 or 7 years ago. And I love this picture. I've not seen it in years. And you have it too. and it was a PhotoPass photographer that took it, and it was after the dopey. So I can't remember. Like,
I think I know what you're talking
it was
about.
the one with the, so I think you had your Gooder sunglasses that had the reflection, like it had the what's that called? Where they're like mirrored. They're like what's that called? They have a name for it where they're like
I just call
mirrored.
them reflecting, but yeah, I know there's a word for it.
Like like the outside
Like
polarized. That's right. So Mallory had on. It was what it was. It was a picture of Mallory with these sunglasses on, right? And she was wearing my marathon ears. So like my ears from the full marathon. She had on my ears. So was my daughter when she was like 9, probably 8 or 9. So she has on my marathon ears, she has these sunglasses, and she's standing in front of Cinderella Castle. So Cinderella Castle's behind her, and I'm standing in just the right spot with all my dopey medals. And you can see me in the reflection, and I'm actually wearing a set of ears too because I'm borrowing Scott's, so that we kind of fudged it. So I'm got all my dopey medals in the reflection of my daughter's eye. It is the greatest picture. Now you could redo that. You just got to be in the right spot. But that PhotoPass photographer, man, chef's kiss on that one. That was, remember that? Did he?
I remember that. I remember that very well. We also had some because those ears had reflecting on them too. So
they did. It
was like
photos, yes.
Yeah, so I have a photo with me like in the ear, as well, which is really cool.
So hope, man, it'd be nice if we got some of those ears, those reflecting. But yeah, those are some good ones. That's probably my favorite marathon weekend picture though.
Yeah, but you can get creative with it. Like I wear those medals all the time over race weekend because I'm proud.
I wear them all the time around town. I was like, do you really?
I always wear them to work the next day. Like
I used to do that.
Dude,
yeah.
I purposely like schedule a lot of meetings the day after marathon, so I have an excuse to like walk into meeting rooms, and I'll show up late, so I make this big entrance, and then I got that clink, 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 clink. Yeah. Oh, there's George right there. George, I was just talking about the Tom Sawyer Island photo shoot. That was the best. That's my favorite one yet. That anyone's done.
Because it's a different angle. Like you're seeing stuff from a different perspective.
I like photos around the resort, and I know I don't want to talk about this question forever, but what I like to do is, especially when you're doing dopey, I find a place in the resort where I take a photo, or Elizabeth takes it, or I take it. You can even do a selfie if you wanted to, of somewhere in the resort after the 5K. And then the next day after you do the 10K, I have my 5K, my 10K on, and I stand in that same spot with the same backdrop. And you just progressively see the medals increase on your arm. Like it's fun. So I usually do that at Old Key West with like my palm trees behind me that I love so much. That's kind of fun to do.
Usually with a beignet.
Yeah, and there's usually a beignet or two there.
Which is the best way to do it. Okay, let's see real quick. We got a question from Laura. I'm planning a trip for the first week. We are out of school this summer. Any hints out there for the Disney Plus subscriber offer that is coming up in January? No hints. They won't tell us. They just tell us it's coming early January. So stay tuned for that. Number 2, my daughter runs cross country, so we're hoping to run a day or two. I'm planning a no park day in the middle of this time. So hopefully we'll have the energy. What is the distance around the lake at Pop Century? It's a shade under a mile, I think.
Go early if it's in the summertime.
Yes, that is absolutely right. Do not run once the sun comes up, or just go right after. Don't anytime after 10 o'clock. And I see people running in the middle of the afternoon. Don't get me wrong. There are people that do. I'm just like, how do you do that? I don't know. I run before it even gets light because there's lights out there. It's fine. It's so hot. Okay, let's see here. Jennifer from the Westplex says, what would you do? I'm volunteering at Give Kids the World 2 to 5 on Expo opening day. Should I try for the virtual queue at 8:30 or wait until my shift is almost over? Only have 60 minutes to get to the expo once group is called. Scotty, this is your department.
I mean, on that opening day, that's a great question. So volunteering 2 to 5. So you can't show up late. So like if that's what I'm trying to figure out. So if you got like a 10 a.m. one and you don't go, you can't show up later in the day. That's what I was trying to figure out in my mind.
Sometimes they've pulled the queue, the virtual queue, like totally out. Like
that's what I was thinking. Like if you're going like after like 5 o'clock, like I think most people have already been there. I think most people have already been called. Because I know they don't do the virtual queue like on the other days, like Thursday through Saturday. So I think I say you just go for the queue. Like the worst thing that happens is like you just can't go during that time. I mean, there's no harm in not showing up if you go for the queue. So I'd say it's still try to get in to the virtual queue.
Yeah, I would too. It also depends. Like, I mean, if you're just, yeah, it depends how badly you want to get stuff too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I do want a dopey jacket. Like, I want a dopey jacket. So again, but my flight lands where it's going to be sketched to get in right away. I'm going to try to get into the virtual queue, but I can't remember what time my flight lands. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to land and get in the virtual queue in time. That stinks. I hate that. It's just one of those things because again, somebody's going to buy up the jackets just like last year and probably put them on eBay. They should make again here. I'm going to say it preemptively because this will be a week from today that this is going to happen. If you're going to, you should have to be registered for Dopey to be able to buy a Dopey jacket or some kind of restriction similar to that. Like if you've registered for Dopey, you should be able to at least have the opportunity to buy one jacket, something like that. I don't know how you do it, but that's just me.
That's a great question. I'm kind of stumped on it because that virtual queue is still fairly new, and I've never been in that situation where, that I might miss it. It's like because you have something else happening that day. That's a tough one. I think it's all going to work out though. I really do think that queue opens up later in the day because most everyone has gone through it at that point.
I think it is. The only thing I'm worried about is like locals getting off work on a Wednesday. That's the only thing that was crossing my mind is it might have another surge like at 4 or 5 o'clock. Do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, and Chad was asking about the pre-ordering of the merchandise for Marathon Weekend. They used to do that. Like I would, and I never did it. And I used to not have trouble getting like, a marathon jacket or whatever, but I don't think they do that anymore. And I think George said they don't do that anymore. So that was nice when they did. All right, we have one more question, and let's get to Kelly here. She says, "Hey, Mike, I'm beyond excited for our spring 2024 Disney trip. Your enthusiasm for Disneyland after your trip there with Scott's family last year helped motivate us to arrange a trip to both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. We will fly to Disneyland in late April and have 5 nights in a 2-bedroom villa at the Grand Californian.
Oh my God, sorry to interrupt. That's the greatest room category of all time. A 2-bedroom at the Grand Californian. I'm sorry. It doesn't get any better than that. Sorry to interrupt, though.
So Scotty's going here, too. So, Kelly, look out for Scott. It says, before flying to Orlando, where we'll be staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village, and Boardwalk Villas. We're DVC members and planning to arrange for some groceries to be delivered. Question: what grocery delivery service do you recommend for the Grand Californian and for the Orlando resorts? Thanks so much to you and the team for the positivity and great information. Your trip reports continue to keep my Disney excitement going. Regards, Kelly is in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. So I don't know about grocery delivery out on the West Coast because we don't deal with that as much. But if anybody knows, and we have tons of listeners, please at BRGuestMike or Mike at BRGuestPodcast.com. I will get that to Kelly so we can help her out because she's got a 2-bedroom, so she needs groceries.
Yes, she does.
So let me know. Kelly will hook you up because we've got a lot of folks, even like, Alan lives out in Anaheim, so he would probably know. But we recommend Garden Grocer in Orlando. They're a little bit expensive, but their service is spot on. And you can even use Amazon. I mean, for staples, like I get, sodas, Pop-Tarts, Cheez-Its, waters. I get all that stuff to Amazon.
I've gotten alcohol from Amazon too before. You just got to be there to sign for it and show your ID. But
there you go. And let's see, for Orlando, Williams says he uses Walmart, best selection, cheapest prices. So it's really a wild world because really probably even Target would deliver. I mean, these days almost everybody delivers. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, because I agree with you, Mike. I've never actually done this in Anaheim before. I would imagine that Amazon does, but I can't say that with certainty is the thing. So I like you calling out for our listeners because I'm sure someone from that area has definitely done it before. So reach out to us and let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure that they have because, yeah, I mean, again, I haven't, so I wouldn't want to recommend if I haven't.
I do have to make a comment though. So like but Mike, you clearly know. Well, maybe before my Alani trip, it might be a little different now, but Grand California is my favorite Disney resort, and 2 bedrooms obviously are my favorite room. So like I am so jealous of a 2-bedroom at Grand Californian. I don't know if you got that on points either, because that is one of the hardest rooms to get as a DVC member. I know they said they were DVC, so I applaud you for that. That is going to be like the most epic trip ever, and I am so jealous. But I hope you all have a great time. That's fantastic.
So we have about 2 minutes before we have to get out of here. Let me ask you this, because you always say this. What is it about the Grand Californian that puts it? Because I mean, the way you speak about it, and I haven't stayed there yet. I've stayed at the Disneyland Hotel twice, and I love the Disneyland Hotel. Mm-hmm. But what is it that sets it apart from all else when it comes to? Is it the proximity to DCA? Is it the accommodation? Is it everything? What is it?
It's a mix of everything. So I will say, and the one time I stayed there was at Christmas time, so I had the Christmas tree. So that doesn't hurt, right? To have that awesome Christmas tree. But like you've heard a lot of people say this, Mike, about the comparison to like Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I just love that type of feel and that vibe. So that's a big plus to me. Like the whole vibe of the resort, the pool area is unbelievable. It's just these two great pools, and the lounge chairs are the greatest lounge chairs I think I've ever been at a Disney resort. Like the cushions are thick. Like I mean, I don't nap much at the pool, you know, but like I could just nap there all day. And they have a great food service and bar service that come to you while you're at the pool. It's just awesome. And sometimes you can even see like the monorail coming through when you're in that area. It's just like, it's just Disney, right? But then you hit it first. That proximity to DCA is just unbelievable. I can just roll out of bed, like, and just go through security, and boom, I'm in the theme park. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Like, and then when I'm done for the day, boom, I can just come right back, and boom, I'm in my room. Even if you're coming from Disneyland, it's so easy. Now the Disneyland Hotel is fantastic too, right? Because that's close by too, but that's still a little bit of a hike. Like where I'm staying at my favorite Good Neighbor Hotel in a couple weeks, and I'm closer to the parks from there than I am from the Disneyland Hotel, which is on property, which is just kind of crazy to think. But with Grand Californian, you can't be closer, I feel like. And it's hard to explain, Mike. It's just a magical place. Like the rooms are gorgeous. The background loop around the pool is one of my favorites. I recreated that one, so that's one of my favorites to listen to. It's just a great place to be. Man, and the fire in the lobby. I could just go on and on about the Grand California, but there's something about that place. Like, and maybe I just stayed there at the right time, like where Emily was like 9 or 10, you know, like it was just a great family trip that we had there. It was actually the last Run Disney race that was there before then what's going to happen now. So just a cool place to be. Great memories can be made there.
And what, you know, I'm in that honeymoon stage still with Disneyland, so I love it all. But because, you know, in practicality, being able to walk back to Disneyland is just like, oh God, like I'm staying in the park, you know, still the scale of Disneyland to World.
It's funny to me because then I feel like, oh my God, I got to walk all the way back to Disneyland Hotel when I can just go right here to Grand California.
I don't want to walk all the way back. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is like walking from like, you know, the everything pop back to the 80s or something. It's not that far. Yeah. But yeah. So, no, but, you know, I think that too, one of those things, you know, like I was looking at the Grand Californian as you pass past it, you know, going back to the Disneyland Hotel, passing through downtown Disney. And it's one of those things like, wow, like the world of Disney is like basically sitting right here under your hotel. You know, like you could have a balcony, and I feel like going to the world of Disney, or I feel like going to, you know, the confectionery. You know, it's almost like Main Street is available right there, not that one exit into downtown Disney. It's amazing. I mean, besides the DCA entrance, I mean, you can walk right there to the heart of downtown Disney. It's awesome.
And the way they've redone the security in recent years too makes it even more of a plus to stay there. It's just William's talking about the stained glass doors too. Just like, oh man, it's just a spectacular place to just like explore too, right? It's just I feel like Disneyland is fun. Like the Disneyland Hotel is like a fun hotel. It's got some great history there, you know, Walt's all over the resort. The Grand Californian is like my luxury experience. Like that's where I want to be for luxury and convenience, because you're just, oh man, you're just right there in the theme parks basically.
William says he's a baller. He's like I roll. We kept our patio doors open so we could hear the waterfall at Grizzly River Run all night. I totally do that. I'm not paying for the air conditioning or the heat. That's totally.
I love William, man. He's doing it right there.
That's totally it. And Jennifer said, Run Disney advised she can pick up her pre-purchase merchandise anytime during expo hours and she'll let us know how it goes in addition to the Q situation.
Yeah, I wish I had a better answer. I hate it when I can't answer a question like with confidence. I feel really bad on that one. But we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn from Jennifer on it. So.
And those of us that are going coast to coast, right? We've got 2 virtual queues in like a week because you got the emails, right? Everybody got the email like, here's your email for Walt Disney World. Then 3 days later, here's your process for the one in Disneyland. Like, great, we're doing this twice. Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna get out of here in taper, everybody. We're getting ready to run and we're getting ready to have some fun Disney trips, but we are going to be back with a look forward to 2024 at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line on Friday. But for now, we're going to duck out of here. But if you have a question, we need questions. Send those to mike@beourguestpodcast.com. That's the email. Again, mike@beourguestpodcast.com. And we'll get those in the queue to answer right away. Don't forget our show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan that 2024 vacation to any Disney destination. Walt Disney World, awesome. Disney Cruise Line, awesome. Disneyland, awesome. Adventures by Disney, awesome. Atlanta, wherever you want to go, it's awesome. So we want to help you have an awesome 2024. So check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That one extra click supports everything we do. And thank you to our patrons. You guys are the best. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month supports everything we do here on the show, keeps the lights on, and you'll get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. This week, we're talking about this week. It's called That Weird Week, where you don't know what day of the week it is. When you were a kid, it was awesome because you got new toys at Christmas. You had no bedtime. You were probably having Christmas cookies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You probably had wrapping paper in the living room all day. It's just wild. Wait, you're an adult. Are you sad because Christmas is over? Are you happy because you don't have to work? It's a weird week. So we talked about that on Mike in the Midwest. Come on over, get that $5 a month. It's a great way to support the show. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Scott a follow. He's going down early. And the reason you want to follow Scott, not just because he's an awesome dude, which he is. He's going to be there. He's going to be there for New Year's Eve. He's not only an awesome dude, he's a crazy dude because he's going to be in Epcot. I'm jealous. But then I won't be jealous when I can just walk to my fridge and get me a soda and not have to wait 45 minutes in a line to get a soda. But he gets all the insanity. I will not have awesome fireworks like he will have at midnight, but it's going to be awesome. He's going to FaceTime me. So follow Scott at Epscott, loaded up right now. So you're ready to go. All the social media at Epscott, EPSCOT, because he's always firing off great content when he's at Walt Disney World. And of course, he'll be there for all the race stuff at Marathon Weekend. He's also heading out to the West Coast. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff together. We're going to record some audio while we're there to bring back with us too for the show. So give him a follow. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. I'll be going down a week from today. So as the show comes out next Wednesday, I'll be heading down on a bird from Southwest to get down there and have a good time as well. So Be Our Guest Mike. And we're going to have a good time. So I can't wait to see everybody here shortly, just 1 week, and we'll get the family all back together, have a great time, run a few miles, eat a lot of good food, and ride some rides together and take lots and lots of selfies together. And for all those folks that aren't there, you're going to get to see our faces on the social. And I mean, do it at your own risk. That's all I can say. So we're having a good time. We'll be back on Friday. So hang out with us and be there or be square. So until we talk again, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. You are a baller, Scott.
I wish.
All right, go grab some dinner, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some dinner. So we're good for the rest of this week, or for the shows for this week. But you and I are gonna record on Thursday.
Thursday, we'll knock 2 shows out, and then we should be close.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Okay, I'll text you probably tomorrow night.
All right, sounds good. George, I'll see you on Sunday, whatever day it is. Like Mike said, I don't know what day of the week it is right now.
You guys are going to be there New Year's Eve together?
Yeah, George is going to be there.
Oh, yeah. All right, have fun, guys. I'll see you.
We'll see you. Bye, everyone.